back to the Sheldon Show. So today what I want to discuss, what I want to talk about is open relationships. I was reading a couple articles online and came across this interesting article about people who get into open relationships or people who, well, actually, who get into open relationships in an effort sometimes to save their relationship. So I thought that was interesting. So I read this article, and basically it was talking about people who are struggling in their relationship. They're going through, different types of, trials or tribulations or whatever you want to call it. And maybe their relationship is at a certain breaking point. And a lot of what they're going through oftentimes had to do with sex in the relationship. It's either one or both parties weren't sexually satisfied, or they had different sexual appetites, so to speak, or whatever the case is. One person was more sexually driven than the other, and so a lot of times there was not a lot of communication there. And so a lot of those people engaged in open relationships, hoping that those types of relationships would help to save their relationship. It's interesting because and then I was looking at the comments on that article and what a lot of people were saying who have either participated in open relationships or people who know people who participated in open relationships. And for the most part, what I gathered from it was getting into an open relationship is probably not the smartest thing to do, right? No, I'm sure there are always going to be exceptions. There are probably going to be stories of people who have successfully gone into open relationships and they made those relationships work. But what I gathered from the readings that I did was that for the most part, open relationships are going to be very difficult to sustain. So I wrote down a couple things, and a couple questions came to my mind as I was reading this article, and I started to wonder out loud about a couple of things. One of them, if you're in an open relationship, who are you supposed to be having sex with? Like, how do you decide? Are friends off limits? Because open relationship, can the person go back to their ex? Like, how does sex actually happen in an open relationship? So the question I wrote down specifically is, are you open to your partner having sexual relationship with other people? Obviously, if you are, then you're going to be in an open relationship. And then, let's say that is yes, then what would be the boundaries or the parameters that you put around who that person could have sex with? So as I was saying, can they have sex with their ex? Can they have sex or are friends off limits? Like, who is this person allowed to be with? I wrote down another question. Can the person date or be romantically involved with someone else? That's something else you need to ask yourself. So is it just sexual, or are they allowed to date someone? And dating means that there could be the possibility that this person is going to then it's possible they could become romantically involved with someone. And if that was to happen, then how does that help to save your relationship if someone becomes romantically involved with someone else? I think that could be a stretch. Honestly, let me continue and then I'll come back to the point I was going to make. The other thing is, how often would you if you are thinking of an open relationship, or your partner is thinking of it, how often would you let your partner pursue relationships with other people? So is it a situation where this person can just at will randomly pursue another relationship with someone while they're with you? Are they limited to sexual encounters with people once or twice a month, or whatever the case is? Do you personally want to know who is it that they're talking to in this open relationship? So would that then make you feel more comfortable if you knew who the person was talking to in an open relationship? That's another question that came to my mind. Something else, will your partner be able to engage, or will some things be off limits? Will your partner be able to engage in certain sexual activities or not? What is off limits? So what are there things, if this person is having sex with someone else, that you're going to say, well, it's off limits? So you can do this, but you can't do that because maybe for whatever reason that might be too personal. I don't know. So I think those are just some questions that someone will need to ask themselves if they're in an open relationship. All in all, I don't think it's a smart idea. I certainly don't think you try to save your relationship by having sex with someone else. It's probably not the best idea. And I think, and then someone tried to make the distinction again as I was reading this article, and then I went on to read a couple more articles that were similar. Someone made the distinction in terms of, open relationships and swingers are two different types of relationships. But I'll talk about that perhaps in another video. So let me know your thoughts. Do you believe that open relationships are a good idea? Do you believe that people should engage in open relationships to save their relationship? I don't think it's a smart idea. I don't think you should bring someone else into your relationship to try to save your relationship, or for whatever reason. I just think you're asking for trouble. It's perhaps just a matter of time before somebody becomes, perhaps romantically engaged or romantically interested in someone else besides you. And that could just bring in a lot more problems into your relationship. So leave your thoughts in your comments. What do you think? Should people be in romantic relationships? Is it for everybody? Personally, I don't think, and then you got to think about the natural tendency for human beings to be jealous. Like, what could be some of the repercussions because of, that act of jealousy or whatever the case is. So leave your thoughts in your comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Please turn on your post notifications so that you'll know when I'm posting more content. Please leave your questions and stuff. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video to this once I see your questions and all that. Now, please share this video as well, because I'm on a journey to grow this channel, and I need your support if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it by my own. So for those of you who find the content interesting, please go back and look at my other videos as well. I have some interesting content and more to come. Hopefully I'll be posting a whole lot more often. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you again next time here at The Sheldon Show.